breaking history today. What does that mean to you?
I honestly don't know. I'm glad that I can be a representative of all women everywhere, that we can do anything we set our minds to.
Here, here. And you've been a fantastic tribute for that these last few years. When you were watching the early stages of the race, Cherie, he was dead last. What was going through your mind?
I was actually more focused on the pace that was in front of him. There was plenty in front. And I was just hoping Jose Burke could trip out when they all started coming back to him with the stretch.
I've just got to ask, Reagan, how does it feel to see Mum?
Amazing. It's truly an honor. A lot of tears, if you can't tell. Especially being from Kentucky, this is truly an honor. I'm just really cool to watch, and I'm really proud of you. I really am. Yeah.
Emily DeVoe, this horse has done you proud, and vice versa. Well done, well done. Donna.
Jose Ortiz is saluting the crowd that is cheering him right now to win the Kentucky Derby, but this has been your lifelong dream and your lifelong mission. What's it mean to you to get here for your first Derby win?
It's a dream come true. It's just the biggest race in the world for me, and I'm just blessed that I get to ride it almost every year, but get to win it. It's just special. To have my mom and my dad here today, it's very special. I just wish my grandpa was here, but I know it'll be from heaven. Just very happy that I get my goal, my life dream goal achieved, and it's just amazing experience. I can't wait to see my family and celebrate.
Jose, I can see it means a lot to you as the tears stream down your face. Did you ever imagine that when you would get your first Kentucky Derby, when it would come down to a head-and-head battle between you and your brother Iraq?
Not really. I mean, I want him to win the Derby, of course. I know it's his dream as well, but it happened that way. I think he should be happy. His horse ran a very good race. He's a very nice horse. But,
But it's your day today.
It was my year, and today's my day, and, we just Golden Temple's day, and I'm happy for Cherie, for the ownership, and to win a Derby on Fitz color, it makes it special, it's such a legendary silks.
And start the reloading process. There you see, there is that horse heading back. And once again, we say it all the time, and you've heard it, and the disappointment for Alex Achard, the 34-year-old Frenchman, about to make his Kentucky Derby debut, not raised in this sport. The parents of Achard were involved in show jumping in France, and he's transitioned to becoming a successful jockey, and his Derby debut denied because of Great White acting up before loading in the gate. We say this all the time. You heard it in the walkover interviews. You always wonder how they're going to react, because the horses never go this distance, they never run in a field this big, and they never, ever run in front of this many people.
And never will again.
Unless they're on the Derby card next year as a 4-year-old, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
On the undercard. Right.
And so, Jerry, you have to be very careful and patient, try to understand that jockey-horse relationship that we talked about before, the humans and the horses, so important at a time like this.
It's a fine line, Mike. You want them ready, when they walk into that starting gate, you want to warm them up to the point to where they're ready to run when the gates open, but you don't want them too nervous because you never know what's going to set a horse off. You could be in the gate and another horse act up and set your horse off.
And Mike, when a horse flips like that and lands as hard as he did, there's really no time to do a proper veterinary examination, so they err on the side of caution and take him out.
So now it is a field of 18 to run in the Kentucky Derby. And those odds, Randy, at the moment have 3 co-favorites. Renegade, So Happy, and Further Ado. There you see them. They take Great White to the bottom stretch. Denon Bourbon and Potente are the 2 that were right before Great White. So now they'll go back through the process, double loading. Some of the horses needing 2 to handle and get in there and push them from the back with locked arms. Now they seem to be loading pretty smoothly. We'll keep a close eye as 6 speed. Perhaps some of the early speed in this race loads in as well. And Further Ado currently sitting as co-favorite 5-1 odds. There you go, the locked arms to get him in there. 7 more horses to load. As the tension and the energy build. A golden tempo walks for a moment before being assisted into the starting gate. Okay, they are almost set, so let's go for the call of the 152nd Kentucky Derby to the great Larry Holmes.
All right, thank you, Mike, and we're just about set. Last few, Japan's Wonder Dean moving into the starting gate, along with Ocelli, who's never won a race in his life. Incredible. Moves into line, and that will lead Long Shot Robusta to the outside stall. Robusta steps forward and in, all in line and ready for the start. In the Kentucky Derby, Renegade getting bunched about on the inside. He did get in a little bit of traffic. Wonder Dean goes up to the front with 6 speed on the outside. And Denon Bourbon is up close with So Happy as well. So it's these 4 to set the pace. Then Emerging Market, Pavlovian to the outside. Potente and Litmus Test along the rail. Break of 2 to Further Ado, who's in between Chief Wannabe and Robusta. 3 to Intrepido and Incredible. And then Commandment, who finds himself about 10 lengths off the lead. Then it's a big gap back to Renegade, who was in a little bit of traffic there on that first turn. Ocelli is next. And then come the 2 trailers, Albus and Leighton running Golden Tempo. So on to the backstretch they go here in the Kentucky Derby. 6 speed is expected, setting the pace of 46.44. Opening half mile here. The lead is 2 lengths. So Happy and Japan's Denon Bourbon heads apart. Second and third, Wonder Dean is 4th and behind them. Litmus Test is 5th along the rail. In Emerging Market, Pavlovian. Further Ado is in behind them. Further Ado about 7 lengths behind under John Velasquez. And then Potente down to the inside and Chief Wannabe. Commandment has 7 to make up. He's outside of Intrepido. Then Incredible. Renegade is in behind that group. He's on the rail. He's got 10 lengths to make up. As 6 speed and Denon Bourbon are run to in the far turn. Mike Smith and So Happy are there to their outside. 2.5 back. And then down toward the inside comes Emerging Market as they make their way to the top of the stretch. Further Ado is getting going on the far outside of Commandment. They're both pulling in their runs as they arrive into the final furlong. Ocelli is also gaining ground on the far outside as they come to the last 16th of a mile. Denon Bourbon in front. Ocelli a huge long shot. Renegade and Golden Tempo are closing too. Here's Golden Tempo. Golden Tempo and Serene Deville make history in the Kentucky Derby over Renegade in a final time of 2:02.27 seconds.
The first female trainer to win the Kentucky Derby. 44-year-old Cherie DeVoe conditioning Golden Tempo with a tremendous run down the stretch to win the Derby.
Golden Tempo was so far last down the backside, he couldn't count that far. Renegade got in a little bumping early in the race, but I thought he had every chance to win. I didn't think he got shoveled back too far. What an exciting race.
And Renegade from way, way back to come second, and Oselli out of nowhere, 70-1 shot, finishing third.